friend of Miss Klein, and that's how we heard about her. And her name is Melinda Strauss.
Hi, everybody.
And she is very involved with media. So she's going to tell us all about what she does and how media impacts her life, and maybe how her job has changed because of media.
Oh, big time. Well, so first of all, thank you guys all for having me here. I am so honored to be standing here in front of you, and I just think you're all amazing, and I don't even know you all yet. So I'm just excited to be here and to talk about something that really is a part of your lives. Like who does something on media or follows something media related every day? It's okay, it's good. I do too. So you can admit it. You can blink. You don't even have to raise your hands. We all do, right? We're watching TV or we're reading a magazine, or I don't know if anybody likes to read a newspaper. I don't like to touch newspaper. I prefer to look at it online, or looking at a website, or going on Instagram, or maybe on TikTok. Anybody here on TikTok? Yeah, I think so. All right, we all have our opinions on TikTok. So the idea here is that everybody is on social media. Everybody's a part of media, and it impacts our lives. And I can tell you that it impacts my life every day because it's actually my job, right? There are jobs that we think of that are more traditional jobs. Everybody has something that they're thinking, maybe in the future, I want to be this or that. I never thought that my future would be a blogger or an influencer or a coach. But all of these things happened because of media, and because 9 years ago, almost exactly 9 years ago, it's crazy to think of, I decided to start a food blog. It did not look anything like this, by the way, when I started, and that's something really important to know, that I was sharing recipes and I was just kind of having fun, and somebody said to me, why don't you start a food blog? And 9 years ago I said, what's a food blog? Nobody would say that anymore, right? Everybody knows what all these different forms of media are, and I saw there was a bunch of really cool boards out there discussing all the different types of social media, what they're all about, and so back then, Instagram really wasn't a thing yet. It sort of existed. It was at the beginning of its time. TikTok did not exist. Pinterest, I don't know if anybody goes on Pinterest here, maybe the adults, but that didn't really exist. That came in a little bit later, but food blogging was a thing, or blogging in general. It was a way to just write about, people wrote about their emotions, people wrote about things they love to do, people wrote about fashion, and I love food. So for me, it was writing and creating recipes and giving myself an outlet to be creative, because I feel like, you know what, even if you don't want this to be your job, having a creative way of expressing yourself is really important. Having a passion, having a hobby, having something else in your life besides the straightforward. Even with school, it's nice to have something else separate from school that you love, that you feel passionate about. So it started out as just something that I was passionate about. I was having fun, I was creating recipes. Maybe we can even go back. Should we go back to the original pictures and show you? I think, is there a mouse or is it just?
Yeah.
Okay. If you go all the way to the bottom of and then click on that arrow right there, it's going to take you all the way back to the beginning. Oh yeah, you'll see. There's some good ones here, but just, go back to, let's go to the dinner Thanksgiving sandwich. It's a beauty. It really is. It's a beauty. Now, mind you, did it taste good? Sure. It had stuffing and turkey and bread and cranberry and all the things. And even like the words, everything got messed up when I redid the website, but I did it anyways. Because it's really important to know that if there's something that you really like and something you enjoy, don't wait until you're perfect at it. Don't wait until you've been practicing and practicing and practicing. Just start. And when you start, it's not going to be perfect. And by the way, it's never going to be perfect. Let's just stop that one right there, right? We're not looking for perfection. We're just looking to grow and to get better. So what started out as that beauty with, I don't even know what's in the background, but there's stuff in the background. And if anybody is on any type of social media, you know that pretty pictures, that's what you want to look at. You want to look at things that look nice and a little cleaner. And so this was the original. You can even scroll. I think there might be more pictures. And yeah, there it is. It's just, the color is on point. But isn't that just, and by the way, it tastes good. I think my food tastes great. I know my food tastes great. I'm confident about that. But my pictures were terrible, but I did it anyways because it was how you get started. And then what did I start doing? And this was, again, back 9 years ago. I started this food blog and I was consistently posting every single week. Because once you start doing something, the only way you're gonna get better is by practicing and by going on and continuing to do something. And by the way, sometimes you start doing something and you realize it's not for you. It's actually okay. It's okay to stop, right? Because it's important that you make commitments to yourself, but it's important that they're to you and not to, you could say them out loud to other people, but if something really doesn't feel right, it's okay to stop. But if it's fun and you're having fun and you want to grow, keep going. Even when things get a little rough, even when things get hard, even when you take breaks, you just keep going and you keep working at it. So 9 years ago, I was, again, posting on the blog, and back then Facebook was the thing. Still is for me. I still love Facebook. Okay, I still love it. I do a lot on Facebook, but I know that a lot of people have moved on, and Instagram is more of a thing, and TikTok and Snapchat. But I started going onto Facebook because I wanted to start sharing what I was doing with other people. Because right now, when I started this, nobody was seeing it. So I figured if I go onto social media where you can access people all over the world, right? You guys can probably talk to people on the opposite side of even, okay, you talk about we're in New York, and I grew up in Seattle, Washington. I can talk to my family over in Seattle, all the way on the other side of the country, like it's nothing, right? I don't even have to pick up the phone. I could just, boom, post something on my website, post something on Facebook or anywhere, and it's all around the world. So I went onto Facebook and started posting and sharing and making friends and creating friendships with other people who do what I do. And by creating friendships with other bloggers, now you might think that being a blogger, I wouldn't want to know other bloggers because they're probably my competition, right? No. If we're all doing the same thing, we're all actually building each other up. So whatever industry you go in, if it's fashion, if it's you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, wherever you are, it's not the person sitting next to you in school isn't your competition. They're actually what's going to help you get better. So I started becoming friends with other food bloggers and learning from them and saying, hey, what kind of camera do you use? Because mine isn't so good, right? So we started learning from each other and growing from each other. And actually, by sharing each other's work, we all started growing. And it built from there. And that's the start of my food blog almost a decade ago. Crazy to think, right? We're in a new decade, or there's controversy. Is this the new decade? Does it start at the end of the year? The adults know what I'm talking about. But this was almost 10 years ago that I started doing this. And what happened was I started out in one direction. I wanted to be a food blogger. Okay, I'm going to change this because I think that it's fun to look at the newer ones. Let's see, hold on. We're just going to go up to my home button for a second. There you go. Okay, that's a lot better, right? Just a little bit prettier. And by the way, it just shows you because I love the pictures that I have up there now, and I think they're beautiful, and I work really hard for them to look the way they look, and I've learned a lot about editing photos, but it has taken a very long time to get here, and I have a feeling in 10 years from now, I'm going to look back at these pictures and be like, what was I thinking? And maybe there'll be something, and I'll be proud, because I'm so proud even of that first Thanksgiving dinner sandwich. I'm still so proud of it. I think that there was a lot to learn in the photography, but I'm just so proud that I did it, that I posted it. And do you have a question? Oh, okay, fine. Oh, if anybody has, yeah.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, that is a really good question. So, favorite thing to cook versus favorite thing to eat. Okay, those are very different questions. So, I happen to really like making pizza. I like to make pizza for my kids, so I make a homemade dough. And I don't do the homemade tomato sauce, although you're welcome to do that. But I just have a really good jarred one that I like. But I really like making a pizza dough, specifically that. And my kids, what they like to do is I make the dough. I make it. My fourth grader likes to make the dough with me, and then I split the dough in half and give each of them their own piece, and then they can shape it however they want. Yeah. So it's like my daughter always makes hard pizzas. My son tends to just tell me to roll it out for him. He's in 6th grade. It's okay. But sometimes they'll like take it and roll it up into balls and like stuff cheese inside and make like a monkey bread pizza. So I just make the dough and then just let them go free and do whatever they want. And I think it tastes so much better than pizza from the store. Yeah.
What's your favorite food to eat?
Mac and cheese. That was like hands down. Oh, and nachos. Clearly there's a dairy thing here. I love the dairy. But yeah, nachos are really good. Yes.
What's the thing you make the most?
The thing that I make the most, roasted vegetables. Actually, Do you guys like vegetables? Anybody here?
Yeah.
All right, okay, that's good. It depends how you cook it. I like that. So I roast my vegetables with some olive oil, spices, sometimes a little soy sauce, based on my mood, but that's something every single night there are roasted vegetables on my table. I prefer it to like salads and things like that. And you know what, not every day is a day like this. Every day is a day where I'm making fancy and gourmet and all these crazy cool things. Some days it just, food to me, most days, is fuel for my body. It's giving me energy. And I want it to taste good, because I don't want my food to taste bland and boring. But not every day is a food blogging day. So what happened was, I started out with this, right, and really didn't know where I was going with it. And then slowly over time, more and more people started to follow. And slowly over time, more and more people started to notice what I was doing. And I had a couple recipes that went viral, which was so cool. I had this like rainbow layer cake that went viral, and I made rainbow Hamantaschen. Anybody here know what that is? Anybody here eat Hamantaschen? They are the best cookies on the planet. And I made them all rainbow, and everybody loves rainbow, right? You don't even have to raise your hand. Everybody loves rainbow. And so they went viral, and people went nuts for it, right? Am I right? Okay, good. I know, right? It's fine. Rainbow, they're just, everything rainbow makes people smile, makes them happy. And I made these rainbow Hamantaschen, and people went crazy over them. So people started noticing more and more. And then I started on Instagram a little bit later than it first came out. This is something actually really interesting. And I don't know if you guys discuss this with media, but when a new app comes out or a new medium comes out, there are different types of people. There are people who the minute something new comes out, they jump right in. They don't even care if it's gonna work or not. They jump right in because of the possibility of it working. Then there are people who wait. They want to see that it works. They want to see that other people are using it, that it's growing, and then they jump in. Then there are people who like just never do it because they like their old school ways and they just want to stick to the old school and that's it. I would say that I fall somewhere in the middle. I like to see that it works, like TikTok. TikTok is something that I got into recently. I'm starting to find my way. I know I'm an adult. There are a lot of adults on TikTok, but it really started out, right? It actually started out as Musical.ly. And it was dancing and it was fun, and then it's metamorphosized, really. It's become something completely new. Do you guys know what that word means? Metamorphosized? It has changed into something really big and beautiful, where it's not, and the dancing is fun and it helps you smile and the moves are really cool and it's all really fun, but there's also another side of TikTok that's growing. And it's this movement of personal growth. And it's this movement where people are spending more time talking and sharing and laughing, and not just that dancing, but all different. It's almost like becoming the new Instagram, I would say, in a lot of ways. And oh, there you go. Hopefully, I agree. And so I finally was like, okay, Mel, time to get on TikTok, even if it's a little bit of a slow climb. So I'm that kind of person. I'm actually curious. Is there anybody in here who, like, the minute something new comes out, you want it? Oh, you guys all know. What's your name? Adrian. So Adrian's that guy.
Yeah.
You're the one waiting in line. Yeah, I'm with. And there's a lot of people out there like you who are right there at the beginning, who know that there could be something good, and you want it. And if it doesn't work, okay, move on. And then there's a lot more people who fall into that category of waiting to see if it's going to work out. So that was kind of me with Instagram. Instagram came out and I wasn't really on it for a little while, and then I decided, okay, this is something. Talking to all my blogger friends, and they're all like growing followers organically. They're not pushing anything. It's just the natural way they're growing. I'm like, I should probably get on this platform. Thank God I did when I did. Algorithms changed a lot now, but I think that things are always simpler at the beginning, because at the beginning of any new opportunity, Facebook, Instagram, any kind of blog, when things are new, it's a lot more simple, because whoever built it is still working on the concept, right? On how people are going to see it. And they don't even know how many people are going to see it, how many billions of people are going to see it. So I joined Instagram. So this is my Instagram now. So right now I have 24.8 thousand followers. Not too shabby. I'm cool with it. I'm very happy with it. I love my followers. I think they're amazing. And we really interact every single day. When I first got on, it was much smaller. I sometimes scroll back just to see where I came from, Because I think that's also really important as you're growing and you're getting older and you're getting smarter and your brains are filling up and you're finding things you're passionate about. It's always good to remember where you start because it's always harder at the beginning. That's why, right? When you first start doing something, you're not going to be great at it yet. Maybe there's those few people who are like just naturally talented, close their eyes and play the piano like it's nothing. But the rest of us really have to work hard to get great at something. So it's good to remember where you started and that it is hard at the beginning, but you're just going to get better and better and better and better. So when I started my Instagram, I started with just food. I started as a way to share my food my recipes, and stories didn't exist. So at the beginning, you guys know what stories are, right? I don't know if everybody's on Instagram or watches your parents' stories on Instagram. So with stories, when stories started, it was like a little bit of a hesitation. Like, am I really gonna take my phone, which is right over here, I'm recording myself, and literally talk to myself on the phone, which I don't know if you've ever seen anybody walking down the streets of New York City like this, and you're like, what is wrong with me? So guess who else does that every single day? This girl right here. But this is where the impact, and I know this is really what we want to talk about today, is so important. Because what I realized that I had the opportunity to do, by feeling foolish, by the way, by standing and holding a phone up like this in the middle of crowded places, is that I'm able to talk to people around the world. And I'm able to share recipes with them and help people who don't know how to cook or who want to learn a new recipe or are trying to eat healthier or looking for something new, right? I have so much fun in the kitchen, and I know for a lot of people it's not so fun, but it can be fun. Like, you can all go home and say, I want to make pizza now, and your parents might not be happy with me, but I'll happily share the pizza dough recipe. It's my friend's. It's so easy. So easy, anybody can do it. You can make it yourselves. You don't need a mixer. You literally just need a spoon and a bowl. Like those, the cookies on my blog, the latest cookie. Literally a bowl and a spoon, super easy to do. Anyone can do them. And I wanted people to start pushing themselves out of their comfort zones, because that's what I did when I started my blog. And that's what I do with my recipes, is I'm like, that ingredient I've never heard of. Definitely buying it. Definitely taking it home. Yes.
Is it like, did you come up with these recipes on your own, or did you take them yourself?
It's a great question. So the recipe ideas I come up with on my own. If it's something that I don't know how to make, I Google. Because Google is the best thing ever, right? You guys use Google, I'm sure. Anybody use Google? Anybody ever use Google for homework? Is there? Oh, Yahoo, okay. Bing is good too. Any of those research applications, Alexa, anybody ever use Alexa? So Alexa is really the same idea. It's being able to research something you don't already know. So a lot of what I learned, I would say most of what I learned through Google. I learned through research. I went online, or you could even ask Alexa. There's no Alexa in the room, right? We're not turning her on. Okay, perfect. That I was able to go and look it up. Like, I wanted to make, I don't know, let's say it's a dough or something a little more complicated, or I'm not sure how many tablespoons of sugar to put in something. I'll Google it and I'll look at other recipes and I'll pull together from different places. The same way that my photos, especially on my blog, I had no clue what I was doing at first. So I started Googling and getting inspired by other people. So if I saw a blog that I loved to look at, that, by the way, was always an indication for me. If I love to look at somebody else's work, there's something there that I would love to emulate, and copy and make it my own, because if I love it, then that means that I'm gonna love it when I'm doing it. And then maybe other people will love it too. So I will go to other people's websites and their blogs and look at their pictures and say, hey, that looks really nice. I'm gonna make my next brownie stack up the same way as hers. And in the end, it's always gonna look different. I can tell you, when I was a kid, I loved art, I loved to paint. And I actually never really could paint from my brain. Like, if you put a blank canvas in front of me and said, here's some art, actually I was less about paint and more about like pencils and charcoals. And if you put that in front of me, I'd stare at that blank piece of paper and not know what to do. But if you gave me another piece of art and said, be inspired by that, you're the same way. I'm inspired by other people's art, and then I can create my own. And it's not copying. And it's sometimes you want to give credit because you're really like taking somebody's recipe with permission, by the way, always good to ask permission. But sometimes it's just you're so inspired by the colors of their work that it makes you want to do something of your own. And I can even tell you, and it's very funny to see it, but I only actually right here on these cookies are really good, started what is it's called a preset. It's like a filter that you put over every picture. The pictures are natural, the pictures are mine, but I was looking at other people's Instagrams and going, I love how it looks when all the colors are very similar. It just makes me happy to look at their feed. And not like, some people's I love when they have like all pink or all blue or all this. Everybody's got their own style, but I loved this one vibe. And I wanted it too. So I actually reached out and asked the person what they did. And they told me that they use a preset. It's a filter that they get put over every single picture. So I did quite a few hours of research very late at night, which was a mistake, but I found these filters that I really like. So right here on these cookies, I actually talked about it in this post because I'll tell you how I got to this point where I just spill my heart onto everybody all the time. But I started using a filter so that all my pictures have the same vibe versus below where every picture is different. And they're all still fun, and I've been growing my following that way, but it's just, I wanted something a little different and a new vibe. So what happened next, because this is actually a big thing that changed. So I was talking on my phone and talking about recipes and talking about just things going on in my life, because when you're on social media, and I'm sure you guys agree, you like to follow what other people are doing. It's fun when you have like a TikTok star. You want to know what they're eating for breakfast, right? Like you want to know what they're, maybe not breakfast, okay, fine. But you want to know what they're up to. You want to know like why are they on that vacation, or how did they learn that new dance move, or whatever they're up to. It's fun to know what people are up to in their lives. So I started talking about things that I was doing. And what I was doing was working on my own personal growth. Do you know what that means? Yeah? Do you know what that means?
Personal growth is kind of like you evolving as a person. Like I think I kind of like the personal growth because like I click on social media and like just look at other people's things, and then like I actually like posted for the first time and I started enjoying it. So like I think like that personal growth is it's like you're evolving as a person and getting better.
You guys hear that? It's evolving as a person and getting better. And even if it's just a little bit better every day, everybody grows in different ways. So for you, it's watching other people on social media and going, okay, I'm ready, I'm gonna do this. And that's a big piece of growth, because that's confidence. And that's you stepping out of your comfort zone, right? And that's personal growth. And maybe sometimes personal growth is, you know, I really wanna say something to somebody and maybe it's not very nice, and you deciding on your own, I'm not gonna say it, because it's not gonna make them feel good about themselves. That's personal growth. And there's a lot of ways to grow. And I think that because of that, and because it's something that people don't really know they're doing a lot of the times, I wanted to start talking about it more and more because I was doing it. I was finding myself gossiping less and worrying less about other people's judgment of me, and realizing that that's something I could teach other people to do. So I started talking about it, and I started talking about what I was doing, and I can tell you I started this really cool challenge that anybody can do, by the way. And my favorite part of the challenge was this. Every single morning, I write down 10 things I'm grateful for every morning. And I did it for 3 months. 3 months, it seems like a long time, but it was amazing. And what happens is when you do something for 3 months, it becomes a habit. You guys know what habits are, right?
Yeah.
So I started writing down 10 things I was grateful for every single day. And it was changing everything. Suddenly, I was looking out for things to be grateful for. Suddenly, I like every little thing, even like the colors in the room and the rainbows, and like seeing all the different continents everywhere. These are things that make me smile. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for a really fuzzy pair of slippers. I'm grateful for clean water, because I know that's something not everybody has. I'm grateful for my family. That's a big one. Sometimes I'm grateful for a really good pencil. I see a lot of pencils in here. Or like a really good pen. I'm a pen girl myself. So I'm grateful for a really good pen. So it's finding things. And I had to like force myself to like really look for things that I was grateful for. And all of a sudden, all these things started changing. I'm like, I gotta tell people about this. Because I learned it from somebody else, and I needed to pass on the message. The same way, if there's something that you learn in here today, pass on the message. Because if it could change your life, it can change somebody else's. And I felt like I wanted other people to have that. So I started sharing my own personal growth. And at first people were really confused. I lost followers, which was okay. It was really hard, not gonna lie. It's rough when you see people not wanting to follow you anymore. Like they just wanted recipes. And then I started realizing, okay, it's not about me. They only want recipes and I'm not offering as many recipes as I used to, right? Or I'm not getting on my Instagram every day and showing them how to make food, but I'm talking about personal growth instead. And also not everybody really knows what that means. So I started learning that I needed to educate more and teach more. So what started out as actually Kitchen Tested was my food blog. And my Instagram was Kitchen Tested. And not so long ago, it was actually last year, I made a very, very big decision to change my name to The Real Melinda Strauss. I would have done Melinda Strauss, but it was already taken. So I switched to, and does anybody know who Gary Vee is? Follow him on TikTok? No, we should let him know that he needs more kids to follow him. I know he wants the kids to follow him. He is someone who has just built big, big businesses in his life and teaches other people how to do it. And I happened to get on a live he was doing on Instagram and happened to, I clicked the button. This is actually really interesting. So on Instagram, there's this thing, you can go live. And when you're live, other people can press a button to request to go live with you. So he was doing one of these lives where people could do that. And I was like, and he says, okay guys, if you want to be interviewed, if you want to like talk to me, just press the button. And I started like shaking. I was so nervous. I'm like, I really, really want to do this because I really want to talk to this guy because I know he can help me. But it's also really scary because I don't know him. And there's thousands of people watching. And then I was like, okay, but he's never going to pick me anyways. So I pressed the button. And then all of a sudden, there I am live, it being, talking to Gary Vee, and he's asking me, okay, all right, Kitchen Tested, he didn't know who I was. What do you want? I'm like, hi. And I was like shaking, but I didn't show it. I played it cool, shake it on the inside, played it cool on the outside. And I said to him, I'm a food blogger and I am looking to grow into something more, right? Evolve, metamorphosize, change and grow into something bigger that I didn't even know I wanted. And asked him about the name. He's like, yeah, The Real Melinda Strauss. And I'm like, okay, thank you, bye. And I literally got off the live and went and changed my name. Didn't even hesitate. Because I think that a lot of times, right, we think about things. And you tell me, you can just, you don't have to raise your hand, but if you ever think about something over and over and over again and you don't do it because you keep thinking about it, maybe because of fear, maybe because of nerves, something like if you're worried, so you don't do something even though you really, really want to because of all the things you think might happen. And so that was happening to me. I was thinking about all the reasons that I shouldn't change my name. I'm gonna lose more followers. Are people gonna know who I am anymore? And at that moment when this guy who I really respect said to me, yeah, here you go, The Real Melinda Strauss. It's so easy. I was like, stop thinking, just go do. And that's a big thing for me. It's like, stop thinking and just go do it. If it feels right and it feels good to do something and you think about it, right? You can think it through. Is this gonna hurt anybody else? Is this gonna make people feel good about themselves? Maybe it's commenting on somebody's TikTok video and saying something really nice because you know that it's gonna have a good effect on them. It's gonna make them smile. Just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it anymore, just do it. So I changed my name and really started to be able to focus on the personal growth and still recipes, by the way, because food, I love food. So I never want to stop posting about it, but I really also love being able to help other people grow in their lives. And even here, like I'm excited to be here. When I got this opportunity, it was like, how can I not come and get to talk to you guys and hear, and I'm excited to hear your questions and what you guys are up to and if there's goals or dreams that you guys have, because I get to be a part of that. And that's really exciting for me. So I started to grow. And one thing that I do on Instagram every day is I walk my dog. Didn't walk him this morning because I came right in here, but every morning I walk my dog. He is 85 pounds of Alaskan Malamute, and I walk him every single morning with my phone, and I talk. It's my dog walks. They're actually called, I said, sharing inspo my morning dog walks. It's become my thing. People come to expect it every day. And what's really amazing about this impact, and going back to that word impact, is that I get to have impact on 24.8 thousand people's lives. They're not all watching at once, but I know they're all out there. And I have this opportunity to share really positive, great things in my life. And I don't think that every day has to be positive, and sad things happen and hard things happen in our lives. And I share that too. I share that it's okay. It's okay to go through hard things. It's okay to, have things happen that aren't perfect all the time. But sometimes people need to hear that because they feel on their own. They feel all this stress and they feel like things are so hard. So I've taken this opportunity and this social media platform as a way to be able to share and impact people's lives for the better. But I will tell you that there is always potential for that negative impact because anyone can do whatever they want on the internet, right? Anyone can say whatever they want. Anyone can do whatever they want. It's really hard for, I guess, each platform to be able to regulate what's being said, what's not allowed to be said, bless you, all of the things that it's really hard to regulate. So there's a few different things that I think are really important. And this goes for a blog, this goes for any websites that you're on, it goes for any accounts that you follow. If you're following an account and it doesn't make you feel good about yourself, just unfollow them. Really, it's okay to unfollow. It's okay if they're using one of those apps where they can see you unfollow and they see you unfollow. It's okay. Because if it's not making you feel good about yourself, why follow? What if they what? What if they troll you? That's a really good question. So you can block people. You can block them. And that's okay. If somebody's trolling you, making you feel bad about yourself, I will say this, and this is really, really important. I really believe this with all my heart. If somebody's trolling you or saying not nice things, it is not about you. Maybe something's going on in their life. Maybe they're having a hard day. Maybe they got somebody who trolled them and they wanted to say something and pass that message along. It's okay to block them. It's okay to delete a message because it wasn't nice, right? It's okay to do that. And that's really important with social media because everything here is online and anybody can see what you're doing. Private account or not, and I don't know if your TikTok's account are private. I do think it's probably a good idea right now, but that's for each parent to decide, with you. But just know that it's okay to unfollow people. It's okay, but it's also important to remember the comments that you make. Yeah, I'm going to answer your question in just a second. The comments that you make to people are just as important as the comments that you get. So before you make a comment, think about the impact that you might have on that person's life and that person's day. Maybe you don't like the outfit that they wore in that video, or maybe that recipe does not look good. It's okay to not say anything instead of saying, that looks really gross. Right? You have a question, right?
Yeah. Do the recipes you make, do they have, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. You can come back when you're ready. I'm here. You gotta let me know on time. I could talk forever, so you guys have to,
We have about 6 minutes
Oh,
left.
we want to do Q&A.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, this is perfect because I saw some hands being raised anyway, so we'll do that.
I actually wanted to ask about, social media and food. I get that a lot. My mom's a caterer and she has a social media about food, makes it something randomly, making myself nachos. She takes a picture of it and I'm like, what's going on here? And she posts it on social media. Or when I make mini pies, she'll post it on social media.
That's so cute.
And sometimes it's kind of embarrassing. And then she's she'll takes a picture of me with the food, and I don't think she's gonna post it on social media. And posts it on social media and says, "Oh, my baby's making her own food." Please don't post that. And then it gets really embarrassing. I really don't want my friends to see it.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that it would be okay to ask your mom not to post something? And that's okay too, by the way. I can tell you my son, especially my daughter's all over Instagram, all over everything. But my son, Zach, he's in 6th grade and he does not always want to be on my social media. And I really post my life. I don't post everything. Every little video is 15 seconds. But when he doesn't want to be on, he tells me. And I respect it because it's his life. It's his emotions. And if he really doesn't want something, I listen. And not all parents do it first, but I think it's okay for you to say it a few times. If it's something that you really don't want, you want to speak your mind. And it's okay.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
My first question is
do a lot of people use your recipes?
Yes. Yes, they do.
And my second question was, the video that you're doing right now, are you gonna post that on Instagram?
So it's probably actually, it's a live video, so I don't know how I would do it on Instagram, but I was thinking Facebook. Because Facebook you can do live videos. And I don't even know if I'm going to, but I also am working right now on something where I'm making my own like short video clips. So I figure if I have all the video here and there's something I said that I thought was really good, you know, that I could then take that and I could put that into a shorter clip. So I figure have the video, know that it's there, and also because I had told someone I was coming in and she's like, record it for me. So she wanted to see it also. You never know, it may go nowhere, but just like anything else, if I didn't have it recorded, then I would never have the chance to use it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Have any of your recipes been passed on, like, from your grandma or something?
That is a great question. He asked, have any of my recipes been passed on from my grandmother? My grandmother, actually, I don't know when it'll happen, and I have announced that it will one day, but my grandmother was a big, big cook, and she had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of recipes in these little cards. So my plan is to one day, in case I actually post this, make them into a cookbook, because her recipes and her passion for cooking is actually what inspired me to love cooking also. I used to love watching her make ice cream when I was a kid. It was homemade ice cream, so good. Yes.
If you could sum up into like 1 or 2 sentences, what's like the big thing about how media impacted you or on how you impacted people?
So how I've been impacted by media is that I have learned how important it is to feel confident in what I'm putting out there, because what everybody else thinks isn't what's important. It's important that I love what I'm doing and that I feel really good about it, because there's always going to be people who love you and always going to be people who don't. So that's been for sure the thing that I've learned the most. And my biggest impact on social media, I truly believe, has been the personal growth that I've been able to offer to other people in teaching them how to be better versions of themselves. Yes.
So is being a blog like a full-time job?
Yes. So that's a really great question. So there are different types of full-time jobs when it comes to media. Being a food blogger can be a full-time job. With it comes working with companies that pay you and doing photography jobs and promoting companies. Like I have some recipes on my blog where I worked with a brand. Let's say it was an olive oil, and I used their olive oil in the recipe, and then I put their olive oil in the shot, and they paid me to do that. So you can definitely make it a job. Can I put that back? Is that okay? It's okay. Things fall. But yes, it can be full-time, but if you're gonna go full-time with a blog, it's gonna be just like any other entrepreneurial job where you work for yourself. You gotta hustle, right? You gotta work hard for what you do, but you can absolutely make it full-time. Yes.
What's your least favorite thing that you cook?
My least favorite thing that I've ever cooked, I made, bless you, I made meatballs. Okay, I still think they're cool, but they were not well loved. I made meatballs and I put Gushers inside of the meatballs because it's like sweet and sour, and I was crazy, but I was curious, okay? I was curious what would happen because sweet and sour meatballs are really good, and I'm like, Gushers are sweet and sour. So let's go with, they've made quite an impact on people, and sometimes people like to remind me that I made them. I will never take them down from my blog, by the way. They're crazy, but I will not take it back. Can I show you? Yes, when we're done, I'm going to pull it up. Yes.
So like your dog and like walking around with your dog, yes. Like making the videos.
It's a really
Is it
good
ever tough to
question.
do that like every single day?
Yes, it is hard, but I think that when you commit to something, then you can do it anyways. And it's okay. It's okay to take a day off here and then, right? It's okay to do that and not have to explain yourself. I'm not gonna get up and be like, hey guys, I'm taking the day off. Like sometimes it's okay. But when you commit to something, right? It's like even any job that you go to, like, okay, maybe you don't feel like doing it, but it's what you've committed to doing, so just keep going. You had a question also, right? Oh, anybody have a question? Oh, yeah.
What's your least favorite food?
My least favorite food, olives. Yeah, I know. questions, right? I know, and I wish I loved them. I just want to state that. I just every time I keep, and by the way, I keep trying them. I have a rule: try everything twice. And I keep trying olives in hopes that one day it'll change, but it hasn't. We're gonna go to you, and then we have I think 2 more. Oh yes, we're on the same page. We got this. Okay, yes.
What's the food that you make the most?
Oh, we asked that before, right?
Besides pizza.
Oh, besides pizza. Okay. Oh, and roasted vegetables.
Besides.
And okay, chicken, roasted chicken. I like to make whole chickens. They're really yummy. Like I take the whole backbone out, so it's flat. What'd you say? Oh, okay. Yeah, chicken. I love chicken. Yeah.
What do you think you're most proud of?
Ooh, what am I most proud of? Like in life or with social media? That's a really heavy
I
question.
would say in your blog.
Okay, with my blog. Perfect. So what I'm most proud of on my blog would be, I guess, the recipes that I make because they make me happy. So anything with rainbow, I'm really proud of. And I'm really proud that I love it and that other people love it. That makes me really happy when I do something that I love and other people actually love it too. Because then I know it's not just me, so that's always really exciting. You had another question, right?
Yeah. Do you like your social medias like your Instagram
Wait, ask that again?
and what is your social media account?
Oh, what do I use?
Yeah.
Okay, so I use Facebook. Facebook I use as my personal page. Then I have my Instagram. What do you ask? Oh, the Instagram? Is that what you're asking about?
So what's your I have your Instagram and
Are you asking because you want to follow her? Or
Oh,
are you asking
yeah.
her because
Yes.
you want to know what she's on?
I can answer both. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so my Instagram and my TikTok are both at the real Melinda Strauss. And then my Facebook is just my name. But those are really and I use Pinterest a little like to share. So I share all my recipes on Pinterest. And that I think would probably be my name as well. But my main thing is really Instagram. And then TikTok I'm like just getting into now. So I'm very excited about that. Posted a good video yesterday.
Last
Yes.
question.
Last question.
what age did you start making a food blog?
So I made my food blog when it was 2011, and I'm 36. So you do the math, because I don't, how old was I in 2011? Oh, my gushers, yep. There it is. I told you.
Can we all say thank you and give a round of applause?
My gosh, your way to end on the gusher.
Yeah.